Welcome to Online Game Review. I'm your host, Mike Mintz. There are a bunch of games out there on the internet that are free to play. But which ones are good time wasters and which ones are wastes of time? That's where I come in. Today, we're going to take a look at a game called Miniquest. You can find this at addictinggames.com. First of all, I like the atmosphere here. It's got the dungeon, the hero. Unfortunately, there's just no swords, dragons, or magic or any other fantasy elements that would have really made it awesome. It's just a typical side-scrolling platformer that harkens back to the glory days of the Nintendo. The premise? I don't really know. I mean, it appears that you're an adventurer in a dungeon that is riddled with spikes and fireballs and some sort of bad guys that are basically decapitated heads that float back and forth. Your mission is to go through the dungeon, room by room, collect the treasure chests, and get out alive. The controls are basic. I mean, simple stuff here. The arrow keys move you around, and the Z key jumps for some reason. But it doesn't take long to get used to. There are some in-game advice bubbles that will pop up from time to time. Oddly enough, it's your character that is telling you this stuff, so apparently he is aware that he is being manipulated and wants to help his god out, I guess. You can only move on to the next room after completing the previous one, and there are a total of 30 rooms or doors, whatever you want to call them. Let's start out with the good news. If you're a platformer fan, this one is going to appeal to you. It's the core of this game, and there are some really fun levels. On top of that, there are some great puzzle-solving levels in the middle and near the end that can be challenging, but you can't help but feel some pride after figuring it out. There are no really difficult puzzles in this game, so if you're not a puzzle fan, this might still appeal to you. The game can be super hard at some points, and this can kind of be viewed as a negative. However, on the overall, it's not extremely challenging, and just about anybody can beat it if they care to put in a little time and effort. The main drawbacks for this game, though, come in the control department, and some of the level design issues. We'll get to that. But first of all, the controls. They suck. You're going to find yourself dying mostly because something stuck or didn't work, and the worst part about the controls is the ladders. I mean, the ladders work great until you try to get off of them. I mean, look at this. I can't get off the damn thing. I don't understand. On top of that, there are some terrible levels, like 10. You're going to replay 10 a bunch of times, and then you're going to finally figure out, and it's easy. And actually, the hardest levels are in the middle of the game. Once you get to the bottom floor of the dungeon, it's actually all downhill from there. They should have swapped those around. But damn it, in the middle, there are some really hard ones that are going to piss you off. Like this one. Now listen, I'm sure this is a design flaw. I'm sure you were supposed to be able to jump over the spikes at the top, but I could just never get that to work. So I had to actually cheat a little. So you can actually land on the spike base without dying. Sometimes. And let me stress the word sometimes. This is super annoying because this is the first part of this level, and trust me, the rest of the level is difficult, so you'll probably end up cursing this one out a bunch, but it does get a little easier after this. So what happens when you get to the final room? I wish that there would have been a dragon or something to fight in the last level, or something cool or different, but alas, it's just another platforming level, not even a great one. In fact, it's not even a really hard one. That being said, after you beat each level, your time is displayed above the door. If the time is in blue, that means you completed it. If it's in yellow, that means you completed it and got the treasure chest. Now this is important. In order to play the final secret level that's hidden in the Hall of Fame door, you will have to get all of the treasure chests. Good luck with that. Bottom line, this one's actually a winner. I mean, yeah, it's got its flaws, but overall, it's a fun experience with some nostalgic graphics and a pretty cool atmosphere, and enough to keep you coming back to try and finish it. I'm going to rate this one as good. You hear that? Miniquest is good. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Online Game Review, and make sure to check out all the previous reviews at www.wickedawesomeshow.com. Stay frosty.